Hello, beautiful beings, and welcome back to the realm of inspiration. It is officially time for the summer solstice. Happy summer solstice, everybody. This summer solstice is my 6-year spiritual awakening anniversary. So I am doing the connection and channeling in Sounion, where I come very often. So we are going to connect to the energy and to the frequency of the Temple of Poseidon, of Sounion area, because there's something very fascinating that always happens to me when I come here. And I recently wrote about it on the platform Medium. I wrote about this, is every time I come here, some toxic situation ends. Like I'm being protected on my journey by Poseidon. So what's very fascinating is the history of the Temple of Poseidon is that voyagers used to come here and they engraved in the stones of the temple over there. Don't know if my pointing is working, but over there. They engraved in the stones their names for protection at sea, protection on their voyage, on their journey. And I always feel like I'm getting protection on my journey when I come here because something toxic is removed from my path, something that was limiting me and draining my energy. So that being said, I'm gonna find a spot here that's good to just chill and get this channeling done, okay? That's safe. But like I was doing with the horse videos, like I keep doing with them, is, you know, connecting to the land a bit, seeing what clairaudiently moves through me, and then going from there. So what I'm feeling for the summer season, the change, is that the sort of chaos that has ensued. Okay, I found such a perfect rock. The chaos that has sort of ensued as of late due to the horse group soul bringing to us the opening of the foundation to give us stability. This sort of chaos is coming to a close, and now the stability that we have been seeking is going to find us. So this is what I'm feeling, is that we had to spend the first 6 months ripping apart our foundation so that way we could truly connect to and understand what is meant to be our stable foundation. So let's see where I can sit and have the temple behind me here. Okay, it is a very calm and very peaceful day and a very soothing energy. We're in the heat of summer in the sun, and I had a very interesting and fascinating dream last night that had to do with the mermaid frequency, and this is the frequency and the guides and guardians of divine love. So it seems like our love and the frequency of divine love is being tested, which is very interesting to me, because out of all, if you look at the mythos, out of everyone, Poseidon was not necessarily always connected to and associated with love. But there is a caring nature that comes from being the guardian of the sea, because the sea carries our emotions, the emotional body. And I'm feeling something with the emotional body. So what I'm going to do now is tap in and tune in, see if this area is a good spot. And I'm feeling to trust and have faith. So let's do a faith affirmation. I'm safe and protected, and nothing and no one can access me nor my energy without my permission. I am surrounded by divine light and love. God protects, God watches over, Gaia anchors, Gaia grounds. My guardian angels surround me in their wings, putting me in an invincible tube of divine light and love. I am safe and protected. And I'm feeling now some little blockage with grounding and stability. So I'm going to try and figure this out. See, with the history of the Temple of Poseidon here, there is also a lot of people who carve their names for the protection on their journey that didn't also survive as well. There is thousands of names. All of these names carry a story, carry a history, carry a message, because it's also part of the history of the Greek people of the ancient times. People who wanted protection. And so what does that protection mean? What does it mean? Does it mean that they survive and they return home, or is it this deeper spiritual protection? Is it the act of giving up control to the universe by saying, I'm asking for protection and support? You kind of don't always have control over what's going to come with it. You know, this is the interesting part. You don't always have control over what's going to come with it, because the protection that they can give you is not always what you think you need. It's what you're meant to have for your alignment and for your highest good. This is what's been feeling a bit ungrounded, is that while it is just this beautiful metaphor and symbolism, there's also this deep pain, because people didn't get the protection that they wanted. They got the protection that they needed. And that's what the Year of the Horse does. It doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you need. It doesn't give you what you think you need. It gives you what you're meant to have. So let's see. Let's ground. Calling on Archangel Sandalphone for stability as well. I feel this sense of like intensity too. So for the summer season, we're going to call on the Alphean healers of the emotional body to come forth. Feeling the big emotional presence. I'm feeling a sense to kind of rotate myself. Okay. Feeling a sense to rotate. Just the orientation and direction. Just feeling the support of the sea behind me more heavily. But also for some reason this angle with the temple. So it directed behind me. And I'm feeling the Guardians of Sacred Space is saying that there is a hope left here. Like the hope for peace. That's what people were asking for. They were asking for the hope of peace. So, and almost like an invading feeling. Like feeling invaded as well. Like the land is tired. Like it's been fighting, and it carries such a heavy weight, and there's a lot of expectations. I'm feeling like so many expectations. It feels invaded. Like a violation, like there's this feeling of being violated. Like the land, it's tired. That's why I feel this like sense of like unease. But like now it's tired. Why? Because we've built so many false foundations that there is this, not exhaustion, burnout. There's a burnout because of the false foundations we have all built for ourselves. That we have this false idea of stability and safety. That the earth is feeling a burnout. That there was more faith and hope in the past than we carry now in like nature to support us. There's a feeling of burnout, and it feels like very big, and it feels very collective, and it feels very heavy. Well, now I'm wondering, am I going to be able to fully channel for this? Like I had this idea to do the summer solstice channeling here, but I'm wondering, I might need to move spots. Let's go. Let's follow this. Where to go? Because I'm feeling more from the temple than I'm feeling for summer. So maybe moving away from the temple is gonna help, because what I'm feeling is like the temple is full of expectations. And because of what people hoped for, what people prayed for, it's full of expectations. And when someone has expectations of you, there's a judgment there. There's a heaviness there. There's a weight there. And I feel like the situations that have been removed from my life every time I come from Sounion are ones with like expectations of sacrificing myself to help them, to save them, you know? Expectations of sacrifice. And those situations where like the expectation is that I am not, like, I don't matter enough, or not matter enough, but that my experience is not as valid, or that I must take care of somebody else instead of taking care of myself. This kind of feeling of worry, these relationships that cause a lot of worry, that's what ends. So I think like now I'm trying to understand it a bit. There's a butterfly here. I'm trying to understand it a bit because it's a very interesting feeling that I cannot put into words. And so I want to find a spot that I can actually truly channel to maybe understand this and why it's related to summer, because obviously I felt like doing the summer solstice reading here. So obviously there's something here related to the summer season. And I always get this very intense feeling of deja vu here, like maybe in another life I came here before and put a name there. Is it signing some contract? Is it soul contracts? Is it breaking soul contracts? So what I'm feeling, something with breaking soul contracts, something with expectations, situations that are heavy, that drain the soul, breaking soul contracts. Let me see. Let me feel. This is what we're doing this summer. We are breaking soul contracts. Where can I prop this up? Now it makes more sense. Don't know what's here in this part of the land that brings that clarity. The plants, this side of the sea, something. Breaking soul contracts. Okay. Now, to like honestly say, I might need to find a little bit of like a shady area as well. Breaking soul contracts, that's interesting. Let's see, what else is this? There's like imprints in this land of contracts. Breaking soul contracts. This is very interesting. I'm feeling that's why the land is tired. There's been some unease, some unrest. I mean, nearby, there was a lot of souls that died in a boat accident around the end of World War II. I can't remember the whole story off the top of my head. But they were prisoners of war, and the ship crashed like maybe 7 minutes from here by car. And like unfulfilled hopes. That's what I feel. Something unfulfilled hopes. But then it leaves behind a soul contract, because is it that hopes of a past life that were unfulfilled end up being manifestations of the future life? And so then we are living unintentionally the life that was hoped for from another version of ourselves that is not in alignment with who we are. So is that why these situations come to an end after I come here? Because that's the energy that this portal brings. The energy this portal brings is... Wait, did I turn enough for the portal to show? The energy this portal brings is this. Ending of the contracts. Ending of the soul contracts. Okay. There's a nice breeze. I'm feeling the clearing. Ending of the soul contracts. Okay. Because is it that the situations that I was holding on to are related to some hope from a previous lifetime, and I'm living for the hopes and also the fears of another version of me, of my soul, that is not who I am now. So this is summer. We must break the vows and break the contracts, because those situations were all situations where I felt like I vowed something, so I must commit to the vow. We feel this expectation that we put on ourselves to honor promises and vows that might not be for our highest good anymore. But if we have this expectation on ourselves, then we're going to keep doing them, whether or not they're in alignment. So, this feels like a better spot. I think so, because I'm more connected, more grounded. I'm just hoping we're safe with lizards and things right now, because they have a tendency to show up when I do channelings in nature, or I attempt to do channelings in nature, rather. Let's see. This feels like a quick one. It feels very calm. It feels very peaceful. It feels very safe and protected here. So Archangel Sandalphone. Archangel Sandalphone. You know, I feel like I want to be facing the other way and have the stability behind me. So I'm like, how will we do this? Here we go. You know, this is my first time doing a channeling in this way. So I think it's perfect for now. I feel. But then I also feel like there's more. There's more. There's more clairaudiently. I'm also feeling like the message for summer has kind of come through very clearly. So is there something to channel? Need to sit on our own and reflect on our story and tell ourselves a different story, one that is brand new, one that is full of the wishes of the future, not the hopes from the past, because the hopes of a past version are a call to manifest, and we have been living manifestations that are actually not in alignment with our true potential. So it is time to let it go and reflect this month on those things. That's what I feel. And I feel the Elfian beings of the emotional body, but they're saying no. In order to step in your power and take control in the summer season, what you must do is use your voice, authentically your voice, because that is the message. To understand your authentic voice in the present moment. Not who you were, not the vows, not the expectations, but who you have always been designed to be, your soul blueprint. Honor your authentic voice and break any vows, all of them. Doesn't matter if they seem good, because all of them tie you down. And I don't mean like vows of marriage, I mean like soul vows that limit you. You can keep those positive vows of faithfulness and loyalty, but those vows of, promises you made with past relationships, and now you're in a new relationship and you're wondering where there are problems. Well, you have threads of previous vows that need to be broken, the vows of limitations. If it is a promise, it is not a vow. A vow tethers you, but a promise anchors you, and an anchor is stable. But a tether weighs you down. That is what I'm hearing. That's like the final thing that I'm hearing. So I wish you guys a lot of abundance in this summer season. It's very interesting that I just cannot trance channel when I'm out in nature, because I'm hearing so many things that the mind can't calm down, and I'm actually just getting all the messages. So maybe sit in nature and connect to portals, because while I'm sitting here on the ground, connecting to the land, connecting to the portal, and feeling what it has to share at this moment related to the summer, it's very beautiful. It's time to free ourselves from past hopes that are not in alignment with our present authenticity, so we can actually start visualizing a more beautiful future that's in alignment with our highest self, because we've been living for the hopes and promises of a version of ourselves that's not our highest self. So now it's time to step into our soul's authenticity and honor this. So I wish you luck in this endeavor. Sending you love, light, and inspiration. Stay inspired. Until next time, happy summer season.